and it just turned out to be perfect today. So special thank you to Brandon with Rowdy Rooster. He is a local meat artisan from Churubusco. The Chamber has taken it on as our own project for the next 2 years to highlight and support all local businesses in Whitley County, and to show that we are an artisanal county and that we are just as strong as our neighboring counties. I'd also like to thank Nathan, who brought our Five Lakes coffee, and huge supporter of our community. And so at any given time, if you'd like to learn more about our artisanal products, please come and talk to us in the back. And welcome, and the main reason we are here, our mayor.
Sure, thank you. Can everybody hear me? Ish, maybe. I guess I should have probably planned this ahead of time, but okay. So council members, local officials, residents, business officials, and friends, I'm honored to present the 2025 State of the City Address to you today. I want to give a special welcome to our new clerk treasurer, Leslie Robinson. I also want to take a moment to express the community's gratitude to former clerk treasurer Rosie Coyle for over 60 years of service to the city. Will you join me in applauding? So every year, by the way, if I look a little odd, my glasses broke on Wednesday, so I'm on the cheaters right now. So if I look odd, it's a normal thing for me. So every year, this speech gives me an opportunity to celebrate our community's accomplishments, prepare the city for ongoing projects, and to consider the challenges ahead. I try to make this engaging and entertaining, but let's be honest, a 30-minute speech, no matter the pretty pictures or funny anecdotes, can be a bit much. So as a former show choir student, I thought we'd do it a little different this year. So I'm going to try to sing the entire State of the City address in 3 minutes to Billy Joel's "We Didn't Start the Fire." The words of the song is going to pop up on the screen. So I want you to sing with me, if that's okay. See if we can get going here. Maybe. Okay. Oh, that works. Okay, well, let's see. Okay, well, that works. Oh, that's nice. Okay. So ready? No, we're actually not going to do that. I'm just kidding. That would be. This is the lyrics, though. I was starting to write when I thought that that'd be fun, but then it's corny. So I'm just kidding. We're gonna move forward here. So I am going to be dropping a few factoids, though, throughout the speech. So keep notes. Hint, hint. It may be worth your while. So let's dig in for real this time. The Westgate neighborhood's second phase of improvements was completed in 2024, adding stormwater drainage, widening streets, and adding new curbs and sidewalks to Buddale Drive, Lawrence Street, and Westgate Avenue. We thank the Indiana Department of Transportation for their $1.5 million commitment to this project through the Community Crossings Matching Grant Program. The third and final phase of the Westgate subdivision improvements is scheduled to occur in 2026 with a focus on the west end of the neighborhood. This year, the city, with the financial help of INDOT, will be paving over 40 different street segments across the city, making street improvements and building over 30 new ADA sidewalk ramps. This project is scheduled to begin this month and go throughout the summer. So here's your first factoid. The city street department maintains 53 miles of streets and 15 miles of alleys within the city limits. So while we're on the topic of streets, let me give you a little update on US 30's progress. We're now aware that in Allen County, Kramer Road, which is Sweetwater Sound, Flaw Road, which is Amazon, O'Day Road, and Stallhut Road have been scheduled for improvements within the next year or two. That effectively makes this stretch a freeway. We also know that INDOT and Steel Dynamics have agreed to a partnership that will provide interchanges on US 30 at Butt Road in Allen County and 700 East in Whitley County. The current plan for NDOT is to cul-de-sac County Line Road and to build an overpass on 600 East. The second project I was describing is expected to occur in the 2030-ish timeframe. Now overall, NDOT's final version of the Planning and Environmental Linkage Study that I've talked about a long time now, it's a years-long study, that actually has received a lot of public input along the way, and it's expected to be released in the next month or two. We anxiously await improvements along US 30 for the safety and economic viability of the corridor. A sewer force main project was completed that improves efficiency and expands the capacity of the sewer system from Jefferson Street to Main Street. The project rerouted a sewer main that previously went under the Mary Raver Playground and now travels under city streets connecting these two lift stations. We also accepted new sewer infrastructure in the Coessie area by partnering with the Regional Sewer District to clean up and eliminate septic systems in the area. The Water Pollution Control Facility is currently preparing to replace the expiring dice door cover, that is this thing right here, while doing a deep cleaning and lining of the digester at the plant. By the way, that is underneath that big bubble is the digester. This cover has provided an extended lifespan and allows us to capture excess gas runoff, utilizing it to heat miscellaneous buildings at the Water Pollution Control Facility during the wintertime. Now here's a factoid. The Water Pollution Control Facility staff maintain 26 lift stations throughout the city due to our relatively flat landscape. In the electric department, multiple segments of infrastructure throughout our territory were upgraded, and they moved multiple electrical lines underground where possible. They also helped the construction of Eagle Park and continue to bring more meters onto the automatic metering system. So for 2025, the electric department has been in the process of replacing utility poles and will continue installing services for our new homes and businesses. Now here's another factoid. Columbia City Municipal Electric serves 4,955 customers throughout our service territory. The CCPD continues to deal with staffing challenges in 2024 with retirements and the transfer of staff members to other agencies. This is commonplace among police departments of similar size due to a very competitive environment, challenging political landscape, and wage battles between smaller and larger departments. Now last year we worked on making updates to our longevity policy to further reward employees that choose to continue serving the city. We also revamped the detective division, replaced all in-car cameras, and improved some of the desk stations at our dispatch center. For 2025, we'll continue to train and equip our new officers and dispatchers while expanding the offerings of the department to the community. We'll also be installing a new ordinance enforcement coordinator position that provides a resource for residents as we work to beautify our city. The new OEC will work with home and business owners to address ordinance and building code issues, ensuring that our community is not only beautiful, but also structurally sound. Now, some would call this the carrot approach rather than the stick approach. The position is not a sworn officer, but rather a go-between to help remedy issues before tickets and enforcement actions occur. One CCPD factoid, our officers responded to over 18,000 calls for service last year, and almost 12,000 of those were self-initiated. The Information Technology Department, let's see, there we go, also known as Terry Wary, has been working to upgrade software, ensure cybersecurity is in place, and expand the city's free public Wi-Fi network. Currently, free public Wi-Fi is available through the downtown area, at Morshes Park, at the Fall Aquatic Center, and at every kid's dreamland. Public Wi-Fi will soon also be available at Eagle Park by the end of the year. We've also upgraded servers and connected additional city utilities to our fiber network to ensure communications and reliable information processing. For 2025, we'll be installing a new payment system for the parks and test kitchen to replace an expiring software system. We'll also be installing new security cameras at Eagle Park and upgrading security features. So one factoid about the IT department. The department manages over 400 devices for the city organization. That includes cameras, computers, phones, and other devices that help our employees fix citizen issues more effectively. On the fire department front, we were able to bid out a new fire engine, install a new full-time deputy fire chief, and make some building improvements to the firehouse. The new truck has a 2-year lead time and is expected to cost over $1.2 million. We expect to take delivery of that truck sometime in 2026, maybe. Hopefully. Further, a lot of research and energy has been going into the potential for a new fire territory in partnership with Cleveland, Columbia, Washington, and Jefferson townships. While there are many upsides to this approach, Senate Bill 1, that was approved by the legislature a few weeks ago, effectively killed any opportunity to fund a territory by capping the amount of property taxes that could go to such a territory. More on Senate Bill 1 to come later in the speech. The point of this fire territory was to ensure the area had sufficient coverage for fire and emergency situations. Even though the territory is probably a closed book at this point, citizens can be assured that the Columbia City Fire Department will continue to be there in their time of greatest need. For 2025, we'll be training our new firefighters, testing and upgrading equipment, as well as preparing for new fire codes to be provided by the state. The Columbia City Fire Department factoid is that of the 842 runs they made last year, 65% were medical runs. In the Water Stormwater Department, they were busy last year rebuilding filters, installing multiple new water lines, and repairing water main breaks. They also installed and repaired multiple stormwater catch basins, as well as a new stormwater line on South Chauncey Street. For 2025, they're upsizing the water main on North Park Drive, replacing faulty pipes along Jeffrey Drive, and will begin working on replacing lead service lines. I should note that the federal government has mandated the replacement of all water lines made of lead throughout our system. This is yet another unfunded mandate that we're trying to work through. Of course, as I noted in my follow-up letter that was sent to all of our water utility customers, this is a major project that provides little benefit, but will cost residents significant dollars in their utility bills. The primary issue of the federal mandate comes from the leaching of lead lines at Flint, Michigan. The difference between Flint and Columbia City is that the water source in Flint was changed, which provided them more corrosive water. Our aquifer doesn't have corrosive water, so it basically eliminates the threat of leaching. The city of Columbia City has never failed a lead test and has always met state standards. So as I've said before, there's no threat to the health and safety of residents, yet we're still required to dig up and replace all of these water lines at your and our expense. So the water factoid is that the city has roughly 1,500 lead lines it will need to replace within the next 10 years. The Parks Department is obviously excited to finally complete the Eagle Park Phase 1 project in its entirety. Last fall, we opened the new pickleball courts and the new family swings. 1 week from tomorrow, we plan to officially open the skate park, so mark your calendars for May 17th at 5 p.m. It's going to be quite the event. Expect you to show up with bikes and skateboards. Phase 1, what? Oh, and helmets. Yes, that's right. Spoken as a true mother. Phase 1B of Eagle Park, which is expected to be constructed in the next 2 years, includes landscape improvements and a new 2-sided amphitheater. The amphitheater will be able to accommodate small jam sessions as well as community concerts. So far this year, the Parks Department has constructed 4 new dugouts at Morshes Park and plan to improve the bathrooms at Eagle Park. We're also working on color coding different segments of the Blue River Trail for public safety purposes. Now, a park factoid for you. Did you know that the Parks Department has over 7 miles of mountain bike trails that are primarily maintained by volunteers? In human resources, the Shared Employee Clinic, which is top here, right here, has certainly been a great success for our employees. A few years ago, we partnered with Whitley County Consolidated Schools and Parkview Health to open an employee clinic that provides primary health services for our employees. This benefit has improved the health of employees, provided primary physician care to those without a primary doctor, and has discovered underlying health problems that wouldn't have been discovered without the clinic. I encourage other employers to consider this model to improve workplace health. In 2024, we improved multiple city policies to ensure a great benefits package that encourages the best and brightest to serve our residents. This year, we'll continue leadership development workshops and improve policy handbook and ensure risk management is at the forefront of our actions. So Beth, our Human Resources Director, often reminds me of the city's mission as we discuss and debate policy, and so that mission statement says, the City of Columbia City aims to grow our city in an honest and ethical manner. We strive to maintain the small town atmosphere with high standards of safety and services. We focus on constant improvement of quality of life and financial accountability. So I think this mission statement really sums up the reason the city exists. It's to grow and to serve and to improve. So one human resources factoid for you, the City of Columbia City has 110 full-time city employees serving our customers each day. Finally, in community development, we've been pretty busy. From new businesses in the Blue River Trail extension to Gateway beautification and the test kitchen, there's something for everyone happening in our community. We've welcomed multiple new businesses and restaurants throughout the community, filling gaps in our economy. The addition of Italian and barbecue and farm-to-table restaurants into our culinary ecosystem, along with other local favorites, has expanded our economy and provided many more options for residents and visitors to enjoy. We expect further expansion through our Beyond the Kitchen test kitchen at the Marshall Community Center. So be on the lookout for community-based classes, opportunities to build your own culinary business, and culinary business classes to take your product from conception to market. By the way, we're also looking at opportunities for people to rent out the facility for Christmas cookie get-togethers or, family reunion type stuff, all that kind of good stuff. So coming soon. We also said goodbye to some businesses as retirements and nationwide closures hit our community. Overall, however, Columbia City continues to increase and expand the market. Our boards and commissions made some notable improvements over the past year. The Tree Board planted 67 new trees throughout the city and maintained the community's designation as a Tree City USA for the 31st year. The Housing Authority acquired and rehabilitated the property at 301 East Van Buren Street, eventually selling the home to a new resident. The Arts Commission held their annual studio art tour, commissioned several community murals, and led Camp Spark, a creative arts camp for ages 5 and up. The city's redevelopment commission completed 2 major projects in '24. First, they finished the brownfield cleanup of the former Cardinal Grain LML Corporation property on South Line Street near the railroad tracks. This has been a multi-year effort to clean up the contaminated property and create a marketable opportunity on the city's south side. Second, the redevelopment commission provided a gateway beautification effort on the southern gateway to our city, near State Road 9 and Radio Road. The redevelopment commission invested several dollars into improved landscaping and trees that beautifies and welcomes residents and visitors into the heart of our community. So since we're talking about the city's south side, let's talk about the ongoing efforts to extend the Blue River Trail from Main Street south to the CCHS ISMS Little Turtle campus. As you probably know, this project has been 6 years in the making and is finally being constructed. The project will fill a trail gap between Main Street and Vine Street, then stretch the new trail along South Line Street, across Radio Road, over the river, through the woods, to the school campus. This project is primarily funded through the Next Level Trails program from the state of Indiana, as well as donations from the DECO Foundation, Community Foundation of Whitley County, and Jerry Bushy. The trail extension will provide a safe path for runners and walkers and bikers from the high school to our downtown area. We expect this project to be hopefully completed prior to the beginning of the 25-26 school year. Fun factoid about the trail project will extend the Blue River Trail by 1.17 miles. Partnership was the theme of this past year, as we partnered with Whitley County on 3 different projects. First, we partnered with the Whitley County Redevelopment Commission on a sewer extension along 100 South to accommodate their industrial park expansion. Then we partnered with the Whitley County Highway Department to centralize fueling stations for all city vehicles at the county's fueling station on South Line Street. Finally, we partnered with the county commissioners to accept a donation of the former Whitley County Jail property. Now, many residents may be wondering what our future plans are for the jail property. We've discussed this in both redevelopment and at the city council meetings, but we played a little coy because to be honest, we've been waiting to see what the city financially has the ability to do with this building. So, here's the plan. Now I want to put a huge caveat here that if we cannot financially swing this project, we'll have to seek some alternative ideas. However, our plans are to move the Columbia City Police Department over into the former sheriff's office, provide entrepreneurial space for future business leaders and startup companies, and provide an indoor playground space for kids to explore their creativity and burn off energy during those cold winter months. While none of this is finalized, we are working hard to make this a reality. So stay tuned for future announcements. Fun fact about the former Whitley County Jail, property has over 50,000 square feet of space. One other major project that's occurring as we speak is the update of our city's comprehensive plan. So the city's current comprehensive plan was adopted in 2015 and provided a great starting point to ramp up our economic and community development efforts. So now, fast forward 10 years later, we're completing or have accomplished 71% of the items in that plan. Everything you see that has a color code is either being worked on or is completed on these pages. So, the industry standard is also for plans is to have them updated about every decade. So with all that in mind, we've started the comprehensive plan update and have begun engaging nonprofits and businesses and citizens to hear their hopes and dreams for the future of our community. Now our planning team will also be at the First Friday event in June to get citizen feedback, and we'll also be putting out an online survey to get additional public input. So our goal is to update the plan in a way that reflects the current realities of our city and aspire to our tagline of building a future together. One element of the plan is to have a housing analysis completed as a part of the update. So this is crucial because our city is in desperate need of new housing of all shapes and sizes. So this past year, we've had some slight housing growth with 27 total single-family building permits and 1 multifamily building permit. But if you compare that to 2019 with 63 permits, or even 2021 with 57 single-family permits, you can see, based on the chart, we're down. The last 3 years, including 2024, has averaged 27 single-family permits per year. Again, reminder, 2019 was at 63. Why am I telling you all this? Well, first, this reinforces the need for our new homes and apartments in our community. Second, this low housing development has a direct correlation with the price of housing and is an extension of the assessed value of each home in Columbia City. Now, the property tax issues that have received much attention and created a lot of misinformation are really not property tax issues, but rather market and assessment issues. Now, I know what you may be thinking right now, because sometimes I think it myself. Oh great, he's going to talk about the property tax system for the next 15 minutes, okay? I'm going to spare you most of my soapbox speech, okay? But I'll merely say this. A low housing supply and rising cost of materials drives up the cost of new single-family homes. It also drives up the market value of each home sold. When the market value goes up, the sales are used as a comparative value for the assessment of our other homes of similar size. This valuation you see on the chart is my home specifically, of where it's gone from 17 through 2024. You probably have similar situations yourself. This is the system the legislature set up to be reflective of the market. So what happens when assessments go up? Property tax bills go up because the property tax rate is based on every $100 of assessed valuation, or AV. So if your AV goes up from $200,000 to $250,000, then you would then pay the tax rate for an additional $50,000 of assessed valuation, right? Local units of government cannot grow its budget by any more than the maximum levy growth quotient. I'm almost done, I promise. Maximum levy growth quotient, okay? We are capped at how much our budget can grow every single year by the state of Indiana. So that means that while minor, steady growth has occurred in the city's budget, it is not reflective, necessarily reflected on property tax bills. Now, as I've mentioned in the past, the city's property tax rate per $100 of assessed valuation has gone down in 9 of the past 10 years. Again, the issue is not government bloat, but rather the assessed valuation of homes going up because the AV reflects the market rate. So if you tuned out for the last 3 minutes, just hear this. With every dollar of tax cuts, we have to obviously cut a dollar of services, right? We can't be like the federal government and go trillions in debt without a hope of ever repaying it. We are mandated to have a balanced budget each year. So if there are cuts to the income side, there has to be cuts to the expenditure side. Senate Bill 1 is projected to make cuts to the city's annual revenue with the goal of putting more money in your pocket. So here's a tidbit for you. The projection is that Senate Bill 1 will cut a cumulative amount to the city over the next 3 years of $1.2 million. It'll cut over $2 million apiece for both the school corporation and the county. This bill certainly creates a murky future for the city. While the legislature provided a 3-year outlook for how the bill impacts local governments and schools and libraries, it didn't give us a long-range view. With multiple components of the legislation scheduled to hit after 2028, after that 3-year mark, we really are unsure of how bad Senate Bill 1 is going to be and how it will hurt our ability to provide services to residents. So, while the content of the State of the City address has been mostly upbeat, this legislative change does alter how many projects and programs the city can provide in the future. I don't say this to scare you, try to make you feel one way or another. Instead, I'm giving you facts about what the future may hold for our community and for the county and for the school corporation and everybody else. I'm trying to give you information about how the legislation can impact our ability to provide services to our residents. So, with all this in mind, the state of our city is still cautiously optimistic. Okay? Despite the challenges on the horizon, the city continues to provide strong public safety, exciting community amenities, and stable public infrastructure to support our current and growing population. I'm proud of our community. I'm proud of the small town values that we possess. I'm proud of the businesses and nonprofits who support our growing community. I'm proud of the welcoming nature of the people who call this place home. We've been richly blessed by the people who came ahead of us and showed us how to be a small community that strives and dreams big. By working together and resisting the temptation of the times to divide and tear down based on economic and political and other lines, we can truly build a future together that we all can be proud of. Thank you for coming to the speech and listening to that fun entertainment. So thanks, everybody. So.